Hello everyone, this is 5280 Sports Network's game preview for the Broncos and Raiders this week. Big game this week, obviously. Jake Marsing joining me, I'm Ryan Green. Jake, it's Raiders week. It's the first Raiders week that's kind of had some momentum to it in a very long time. As we always do, what are your feelings about the game?
I feel like this team is very intensely focused on this game, Ryan. That's the vibe that I just get out here at the UC Health Training Center. And it's the vibe I've gotten really all week as the Broncos prepare for this game. I think that's a good thing because this Oakland Raiders team is pretty darn good. We thought they might be good at the beginning of the season, and it's turned out that's the case. Their defense is maybe not quite the defense that most folks had hoped it would be, but Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, that offense has proven to be a legitimate threat against any defense, no matter how big, no matter how strong. They're going to present some really unique challenges for the Broncos this weekend, and that defense back there, and Trevor Siemian as well on the offensive side, better be able to answer the bell.
Absolutely. I think the Raiders are I think fans are underestimating them a little bit. I think fans see a bunch of close games, especially last week when you go to overtime against the Buccaneers, and people think, well, how good are they? But really, this team is pretty potent.
Oh, absolutely they are. Derek Carr, 513 yards passing last week, 4 touchdowns. That tells you a lot just about the fact that he's capable of doing that. Now, obviously, those defenses that he's played all season have not been this Broncos defense, and I don't expect him to get anywhere near those numbers this week. But that defense is confident that they're going to be able to stop him. On the opposite side, Khalil Mack, lots of talent on the Raiders defense to try and stymie Trevor Siemian and that group, but it's not like Khalil Mack has been a dynamic player this season. And he frankly wasn't a dynamic player last season, in my opinion. Michael Schofield helped him get to the Pro Bowl. A one-man ticket to the Pro Bowl Michael Schofield was last year for Khalil Mack. But the thing for me with this game and with this Raiders rivalry really is about the energy, the intensity, the emotion that's going to come into this game. We can talk individual matchups all week long. We can talk about what's going to happen when Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders go up against that porous Oakland secondary. Front seven for the Raiders is a little bit better than their secondary is. But I think the most important thing to understand and to talk about is that this is the most important Broncos-Raiders game that we have seen in a very long time.
Right.
And that plays a factor here. How much of a factor, we'll see. I think that there are a lot of matchups the Broncos can win, should win. We'll see how things turn out on Sunday night.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are going to win, but there's two things that I think the Raiders really have going for them. And one, it's at home. They haven't had a home primetime game in a very, very long time. And two, you mentioned Khalil Mack had a Pro Bowl game against Michael Schofield. I don't know if this offensive line has improved that much better. I don't know if Donald Stevens. I don't think Khalil Mack's getting 5 sacks.
Yeah.
But I think he gets to Siemian a few times. I just don't see the offensive line has improved that much. And I think the Broncos are going to have their hands full. But really, I think this defense is capable of stopping the Raiders' offense. I think they're capable of stopping any offense. I mean, they held the Falcons to 23 points. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to come down against the Broncos' offense against the Raiders' defense. So, having said what you've said, what do you think the game prediction is for you?
Couple more things before I get to my pick.
All right.
Couple more things. I got one name for people to watch out for. Seth Roberts, Oakland Raiders receiver. The third receiver. I don't think that they're going to be able to create matchup advantages with their top 2 guys because I think the Broncos,
especially with Aqib being out,
Aqib Talib possibly being out. He has not been out of practice much this week, dealing with lower back issues. So that means Lorenzo Doss has to step up. Do I think Lorenzo Doss is capable? Yes, I do. But Seth Roberts is a mismatch against really Webster or Doss. So whoever he winds up being put in coverage against is going to create problems. The other thing, you mentioned the offensive line for the Broncos. You mentioned the offensive line for the Raiders, I think, or Mac.
Yes, the Broncos' offensive line issues.
Well, here's the thing about the Broncos' offensive line. They're coaching emphasis issues, right? The biggest problem the Broncos' offensive line has right now is really, especially from Russell Okung, is that kick step, right? Is that kick-out leg. He's driving too far out. He's getting too wide a base, and people are literally just taking that outside shoulder and running around him. So you've seen it happen over and over again. That needs to be corrected, and it's a coaching point. The issue that the Broncos have right now is that Matt Paradis, Okung, they're going to be limited in practice throughout the rest of the season.
Right.
So those ways to correct those coaching emphasis points aren't necessarily going to be there. My game prediction. With that said, I think the Broncos are a better, more complete team than this Raiders team.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are a very good football team. They are going to be in the playoffs, and they will be a thorn in the side of the Broncos all year. But I think the Broncos win this game 23-20.
Okay.
Tight game, good game, close game on Sunday Night Football that I think the Broncos walk away with.
I truly expect a more comfortable win than that. I feel better about this game than I did about the Chargers game. I think the Broncos win 23-13. I think they come out on fire on defense and really get the Raiders going, oh gosh, all right, I guess we're not up to that type of level of football quite yet. I think the Raiders are well on their way to getting there, but I think this is just where the Broncos can still flex their muscle and say, yeah, we're still the champs. We still got the belt in the AFC West. This guy has been writing so much on 5280 Sports Network.
Not
He's
really.
Getting sick.
Not this week.
He's getting sick. That's
I've written
how
like nothing this week, dude. I feel awful.
Go and check out all of his content. You got a Wade Phillips piece coming up, that's right?
By Friday, I will have like 9 things out.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so
but
just,
right now, as of this video, I'm behind.
It'll be
I've got a
updating
cold,
on the hour. So anyways, and then of course we'll have the game predictions from Sean and Nate tomorrow morning for the Morning Minute. So as always, he's Jake D. Marsing on Twitter, so for him, and well, normally you say
I do this part usually.
Okay, all right.
I'm Jake D. Marsing on Twitter. He's at rgreen5280. For everybody at 5280 Sports Network, he's Ryan Green.
He's Jake Marsing.
This is 5280 Sports Network. See, Ryan, that's how you do that.
All right, I'm learning.